Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my channel. Today, we are talking all things Bear Creek Arsenal. So thanks for hanging out with me on my channel. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow this thing to 100,000 subs. It would mean the absolute world to me. But that's not why we're here. Today, we are talking about a company that, to me, is kind of near and dear to myself because my love and passion for firearms and different rifles kind of meshes with Bear Creek Arsenal and what their company somewhat stands for. Now, Bear Creek's not paying me anything for this video. This is just coming from a firearm connoisseur who loves guns, different calibers, loves collecting guns, and I want to talk about some of the reasons why I think Bear Creek Arsenal fits in with my personal arsenal, and why I think it might be a great fit for you guys as well. Now, if you have heard anything about Bear Creek Arsenal, there is, in my opinion, there can be some misconceptions out there on the market about quality control. They're cheap uppers, cheap rifles, cheap barrels, and I want to harp on the fact that they are very budget friendly. However, you do not lose quality whenever you are paying for that cheaper product from Bear Creek Arsenal, which is one of the very few companies out there on the market where you actually see the misconception, or not a misconception, but they're the outlier of the you get what you pay for. I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for, unless you're talking about Bear Creek Arsenal, because Bear Creek Arsenal can manufacture uppers and rifles at a fraction of the cost of what some of these other manufacturers are doing. And a lot of people are going to be skeptics on this. And one thing that I want to point out about Bear Creek Arsenal before we get too deep into these reviews is the reason that I truly believe that these products are quality made rifles. Not because I've been testing them or because I've been shooting them or for whatever reason, but it's because they stand behind their product as well. And they offer a lifetime warranty on all of their products. So the cheapness and the budget friendly to the side, the looks to the side, their company believes enough in their product that they are going to guarantee you for the lifetime of that product that you own it, that if something goes wrong, something happens to that product, they're going to take care of it and they're going to fix it. Now, you take all of the other hoopla out of the side and you look solely at that piece right there. That tells you that their manufacturing process and their engineers and their marketing teams are so confident in the products that they're putting out on the market that they're going to support it for a lifetime. That's a very big deal. And I don't skip over that lightly, because a lot of companies out there don't offer lifetime warranties, and the fact that they're willing to do that, to me, goes above and beyond for what they are saying about the quality of their product. So let's talk about some reasons why you may be interested in Bear Creek Arsenal. So for those of you that are new to the AR-15 or AR-10 world, there is essentially, to dumb it down, there is two parts to that, to those firearms. There's a lot of small parts that go into the two parts, but there's two bigger parts called an upper receiver and a lower receiver. And you can get a complete upper or a complete lower, and a lot of times those two, as long as they are mil spec, they will fit together. So for example, you could buy a complete AR-15 lower from, let's say, Palmetto State Armory. Then you could go to Bear Creek Arsenal and purchase any caliber AR-15 platform complete upper, and it would be able to work with that AR-15 lower. Now, there are some differences and some minor things, such as, you know, depending on the caliber and the buffer spring that you have on that AR-15 lower, sometimes you may have to change out some of those parts. But for the most part, very simplistic speaking, you can integrate a multitude of different calibers across one or two different lowers. Now, why is that a big deal, you might ask? So if you're new to AR-15s and AR-10s, I want you to imagine that you build a lower receiver that is the lower receiver that you absolutely love. It's got the grip on it that you like. It's got the stock on it that you like. It's got the trigger in it that you like. It's got the charging handle in it that you like. You love shooting that lower receiver. It is built for you. Now, let's say that you are a gun connoisseur like myself and you love having a multitude of different calibers out on the market. If you do a quick Google search on a compatible AR-15 upper receivers, you will see a laundry list of different things. You'll see things like the 22 LR, 17 HMR, 6.5 Grendel, 5.56, 6 ARC, all kinds of different calibers upper wise can fit onto that lower receiver that you have built. Now that is, to me, is where Bear Creek Arsenal comes into a very big playing factor. And the reason behind that is, you can see right here behind me, I've got 3 different configurations of rifles. Each of these uppers are Bear Creek Arsenal uppers. This one here that I have in my hand, this is a 17 HMR, which is a super fast rimfire round that is built on an AR-15 platform. Now, the only thing that's a little different about this upper is you do have a proprietary buffer spring and buffer weight that have to go into your AR-15 lower to compensate for the lighter recoil from that rimfire round. But all of that comes included with this 17 HMR from Bear Creek Arsenal. It's featuring a stainless steel barrel, threaded barrel, which is nice, so I can throw a suppressor on the end of this and tone this thing down really, really quiet. I do like the fact that Bear Creek Arsenal offers a lot of side charging options. So in lieu of your typical rear charging handle that you see on a lot of mil-spec type AR-15 and AR-10 uppers, they are a big maker of side charging AR-15s and AR-10 uppers, which is a very big deal. I love the side charging capability. I think it's easier to unload your rifle, and I think it's easier to get jams out if for some reason you do happen to get a jam. So let's go back into, you've got your AR-15 lower completely built up how you want it to be built. You go to Bear Creek Arsenal's website again. You look up, you do your research on what calibers are compatible. You can go to Bear Creek Arsenal and buy this upper, which is the 17 HMR. You can buy this upper over here, which is a 22 LR, and then you could go and buy another upper, which is not pictured here, like a 6.5 Grendel. And all 3 of these uppers can work on that one AR-15 lower. Now, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because you essentially now have 3 different rifle configurations, but you only have the cost of about 1.5 rifles. So let's say that all in on your AR-15 lower, you're sitting around $250 to $300 for that lower built completely how you want it done. And sometimes you can get them cheaper if you don't do any changes or modifications to them. These uppers from Bear Creek Arsenal are ranging anywhere from $180 to, let's say, $290 to $315, complete uppers shipped to your door, because these uppers, they do not have to go through a FFL dealer. So these uppers are not registered. They can ship directly to your house. Whereas your lower receiver, it has to go through an FFL dealer. It has to be registered to the federal government, and you have to go through the background checks and all that stuff. So that is what is registered to the government and in your name. These uppers come straight to your house, very fast shipping. And that, to me, is one of the greatest things that Bear Creek Arsenal offers, is affordable, high quality, lifetime warranty, complete upper receivers. This allows you to get into a multitude of different calibers. For example, right here, this 22 LR, what I love about the 22 is this is my standard AR-15 lower. So this lower, from an AR-15 standpoint, is built exactly the way that I like it. It's got a CMC single stage flat drop-in trigger. It's got the Hogue overmold grip, which I love the Hogue grips on my AR-10 and AR-15 platforms. And it's got a typical AR-15 buffer spring and buffer tube. But what is fantastic about this 22 LR is if you pull this back pin and break this down, this 22 LR from Bear Creek Arsenal actually has a built-in buffer spring here. So you're actually not even using this. Now, the reason that that's a big deal is you are able to take a 22 LR magazine which is provided by Bear Creek Arsenal with the purchase of the 22 LR complete upper. You can load this with 22 LR rounds, which is super cheap and super easy to shoot. It's fun to shoot and it's cheap to shoot. And you now have a full-sized filling AR-15 rifle, but you're shooting a rimfire 22 LR, which is fantastic for going to the range, doing training, doing shot placement, trigger pulls, all that type stuff. You now can get in here and do that type training at a very cheap and budget-friendly price point. On top of the fact that if you're getting new shooters into the world of shooting, the 22 LR is one of the greatest rounds to step up from, let's say, that BB gun to a pellet rifle. And maybe you don't want to go all out and just go buy a brand new 22 LR for your kids to shoot, and maybe you got an AR-15 laying around. You now can buy a 22 LR upper from Bear Creek Arsenal, put it on your already built AR-15, and then now you have a complete and ready to roll rifle. Absolutely fantastic option. I absolutely love this thing. Super, super sweet with a little old suppressor slapped on the end, little rimfire suppressor. So awesome, awesome things that Bear Creek Arsenal are doing on the AR-15 market. Now I want to switch gears over to the AR10 platform. So again, for those of you that are new to the AR worlds, you have an AR-15 platform and you have an AR-10 platform. The AR-10 is a bigger receiver. It's made to shoot larger rounds like your 6.5 Creedmoors, your 308s, your 243s, bigger, longer rounds. Your AR-15s are designed around the length or the case lengths of a 223 to 5.56, which is your typical, what you see the military using and all that stuff. So the reason that the AR-10 platform is a big deal, because again, let's go back to building your lower exactly the way that you want. You can build an AR-10 lower, which I have right here, built up exactly how I want. This is my favorite stock in the entire world, my favorite grip in the entire world. It's a CMC single stage drop-in flat trigger, which is fantastic. And I've got the ambidextrous rear charging handle, which is fantastic. I love that ambidextrous. And again, this one is not the side charging feature. This upper is the rear charging, which is why you see this rear charging handle onto this upper. Now, you get that AR-10 lower completely built up, done up the way that you want. You now can go to Bear Creek Arsenal and you can search a multitude of different calibers that they offer on the AR-10 platform. Prime example is this one right here. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor from Bear Creek Arsenal. It features a heavy stainless steel barrel. Again, stainless steel barrel, guys, which is fantastic. You can get the 6.5 Creedmoor, you can get 243s, you can get 308s. So all of your popular high-end AR-10 rounds, which again, do a quick Google search and you can find all of the information on the different variations of AR-10 compatible calibers. But again, you are able to go to Bear Creek Arsenal, purchase 3 to 4 of these uppers, and essentially you now have 3 or 4 different rifles at the price point of only having to have basically money invested for 1.5 rifles to 2 rifles, which is unbelievable. Again, I want to talk about the accuracy and the performance of the Bear Creek Arsenals. We have shot, I know way back, if you've watched the predator hunting series on my channel, you have seen probably 3 years ago we made a transition from the AR-15 round, the 223-5.56 round, and we wanted to shoot something a little bigger, a little heavier. And what we did is we went to Bear Creek Arsenal and we bought a 6.5 Grendel upper. So you're able to shoot about 123 grain bullet out of that upper versus a 55 grain bullet out of the 223-5.56. And that allowed for a heavier bullet going down and hitting coyotes. So that was a very big deal for us to be able to go onto their website, pick out a different upper with a different caliber, and essentially have a brand new rifle without having to go in and invest $400, $500, $600, $700, $800. We were able to go in and invest anywhere from $200 to $340 on an upper, and basically that gets you a brand hammer new rifle, but you still get the same feel on your lower receiver because it's the lower receiver that you built and designed specifically for you. So that is a very big deal, especially if you are a guy that loves going to the range, you love going and shooting different calibers, you love training with different calibers. It allows you to take essentially 2 lower receivers, an AR-15 and an AR-10, and then you could take 6 different uppers that are compatible between the 2 lower receivers, and essentially you're taking 6 different rifles out to the field or to the range, which is incredible. That's the one thing that I love about the conversion process of being able to do different things with these AR platforms. Like I've got a 243 upper that will fit directly on this lower, so if I feel like I want to go shoot a 243 for a day, I can make that change. If I want to keep shooting my 6.5 Creedmoor, I've got the heavy barrel 6.5 Creedmoor as well. Just unbelievable options and a whole lot of maneuverability from a firearm collector standpoint, especially somebody like myself that just loves having a multitude of different calibers. But I wanted to kind of address, you know, the thought and the aroma around Bear Creek Arsenal from my side of the world. You get a lot of people that think that you have to have the absolute most expensive things out there. You've got to have all the carbon fiber stuff. You've got to have all these things. And the truth of the matter is, I absolutely love all that stuff. I love the high-end rifles. I love the high-end barrels. Reduces weight. They're fantastic functioning pieces of equipment. But also, this channel was founded and geared around budget-friendly options to get people out into the outdoors hunting and shooting. And to me, Bear Creek Arsenal fits that bill. And I wanted to just air that out because a lot of people I feel like a lot of people have a negative view about Bear Creek Arsenal. And I would say that the majority of the people that have those opinions have not ever dealt directly with Bear Creek Arsenal and their customer service, or have dealt with running their firearms. So definitely give them a chance. If you are new to the market, give them a call, talk through some different options with them. They'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Let them know that you watched the video today at Southern Extreme TV, and who knows, maybe we can work some stuff out in the future where we can get some more uppers and rifles out here that we can test for you guys. But I just wanted to clear the air. I think that Bear Creek Arsenal is an overlooked and underestimated manufacturer of barrels and AR-10 and AR-15 uppers and rifles. I'm a bigger fan of their uppers than I am their lowers. I prefer going with a lower through like Palmetto State Armory or somebody along those lines versus going through Bear Creek. I just think that their niche, in my opinion, is their barrel manufacturing, their handguard manufacturing, and their complete upper receiver manufacturing. I think that that's their niche. I think they're very good at it, and I think they provide a fantastic product at a very, very cost efficient manner to the general public, and that's a very big deal, and that's what this channel was founded on. So if you guys got any questions for me, drop a comment down below in the comment section. I'll try to help out any way I can. I know that there is some intricacies as far as what type of uppers are compatible with what type of lowers. There's a ton of information out there on the internet, and there's a ton of information out there from people who are a lot more intelligent than I am as far as the inner makings of those AR-15s and AR-10s and what you exactly need to make those things function. I will say, I do want to point out one thing that I would say could be a potential negative. A lot of these upper receivers from Bear Creek Arsenal on the AR-15 and the AR-10 platform do not offer a adjustable gas block. I believe that they are starting to incorporate adjustable gas blocks on their upper receivers, which is a very big deal. For those of you that do not know what that means, the gas block essentially is exactly in the name. It is a mechanism that blocks the gases that then activates your action, which throws out your spent brass. Now, the reason that an adjustable gas block versus a typical set in stone gas block is a big deal is because of this thing right here on the end. If you're going to be running a suppressor, you're going to be running suppressed, then the gases that are blowing back down this rifle are greater than if this suppressor is not on here. So you really need an adjustable gas block on your upper if you're going to run suppressed, so that you can adjust the amount of gases that's going to be going back into your chamber, so that you get the adequate amount of gas to function your action on that rifle. Too much gas and you get really dirty rounds in your magazine, and you get a lot of stovepipe jams because that action is over gassed and it's working so fast that it's not giving that brass enough time to actually get out of the chamber. And then on top of that, if you're too over gassed, you can actually cause damage to your buffer spring, buffer weight, and buffer tube system. So reach out to them if you are going to be running suppressed, and see what options they have. It's been a while since I've been on their website, but I have seen some stuff airing around their social media talking about adjustable gas blocks versus non-adjustable gas blocks. But I'm a huge advocate for an adjustable gas block to become the new standard on every single AR-15 and AR-10 that is manufactured in the country. I think that the availability of suppressors being out there is a big deal, and I think there are a lot of people that are shooting suppressed because they're seeing the advantages of it. And I think that the AR-15 and the AR-10 market need to catch up to that standard and start just shipping all of their AR-10s and AR-15s with adjustable gas blocks. So that is one thing to mention. Hopefully you can take that as a side note and run with it if you are in the market looking for it. But getting back on track, if you guys got any questions about these uppers that I've got right here, or any of the other uppers that I've ran from Bear Creek Arsenal, I've ran 4, 5, 6 different calibers from Bear Creek Arsenal, and I've never had a single issue out of any of the rifles they sent me. They all function, they all shoot, they are all very, 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 very accurate rifles, and they just meet the needs of the everyday common shooter and hunter that's out there. So thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel. If y'all are new to Southern Extreme TV, we do a little bit of everything. We do some product reviews, we do some accuracy reviews, we do a whole lot of hunting, and we just do a little bit of anything that's outdoors hunting and shooting related. So appreciate your time, appreciate you hanging out with me on my channel. Again, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.